Alright guys, welcome to the Jerry Rigger channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today's video is about my Sunbeam Gas grill. Why I like it so much, and why, well, we're going to go ahead and replace the burner on it because the burner has gone out in it, but we'll talk about a few of the features that I think made this probably one of the best cheap grills ever. Now granted, this wasn't an expensive grill when it came out, but it's lasted a long time. I bought it used and I've had it probably at least 5 years now. So I'm about to replace the burner and use it hopefully for another 5 years. So one of the things I've done on this grill, where I live at the moment, I'm between houses. At the apartment complex I live, they don't allow the large propane bottles, so they only allow 2 pounds, and that's a fire code issue. So I did add this Coleman dual propane, 1 pound propane attachment, which has worked a lot better than I thought it would. You know, I thought it would run out of gas right away and all that stuff, but it's not, you know, it lasts a lot longer than I thought it would, and I've been fairly happy with it.
One thing I want to mention about this, you want to make sure that you've got something supporting it so that you're not pulling on the hoses. Probably the best thing to do would be to set it on some blocks.
Alright, so one of the things I love about this grill is it does have a cast aluminum body. It hasn't rotted out on me yet. You know, all the drippings and chemicals and stuff can really get to the bottom of these things and usually rot them right out, no matter what they're made out of. All that acidic droppings and stuff, usually not much will stand up to that. Another thing I really love about this thing is this glass front. Even though right now it's completely covered and not very clear, I mean, I can see a little bit through that spot there, but I can see when the fire flares up on me through that. Even though it's kind of covered up a little bit, I can still see that flare up happen, which gives me a chance to go and run to the grill and open it up and cool it down if I need to. You know, spray a little water on the flare up or whatever I need to do. Now inside this thing is lava rocks, and there's all kinds of speculation whether lava rocks, you know, hold crap on the grill that could be bad for you, or you know, I'm not here to speculate about that, whether you like lava rocks or you don't like lava rocks. You know, all that goop in there that falls down and it soaks into those lava rocks and burns off, you know, makes that smoky flavor everybody loves. But it is a lava rock grill. I mean, obviously you can change that out to whatever you want. If you wanted to put metal plates in there or whatever, you can do that. Today we're going to be replacing the burner. So I'm going to pull out all these lava rocks, get down to the gist of replacing it. To clean this grill front is actually just use a razor blade. And I'm going to scrape that off. Okay, and one of the things I'm going to make sure I do while I'm scraping this window is I'm going to make sure I'm not pushing this towards any part of my body. The reason being, I had a friend who was scraping paint off a car window one time. He had his arm up over the
you know, the top of the window, he was scraping and he was pushing up with the razor blade, and he pushed that razor blade right into his wrist. Ended up in the emergency room getting stitches. So be very careful with these razor blades. They are very, very dangerous.
Now, it always helps if you have a brand new, nice, sharp, clean razor blade to start with. Mine, I think, has been used a few times. Having one that's brand new will help prevent you scratching the glass. I'm not really concerned about scratching the glass on this. Also, getting the angle of this is just right. Really helps take the stuff off. The more flat you lie the blade, the harder it is to get it off. But if you get that, I don't know, probably 60-degree angle, it works so much better. Maybe 70. All right, much better. Cleaned about 5 years worth of dirt off of there in about 5 minutes. You want to be careful not to break the glass. All right, so now that's cleaned off, we'll go ahead and pull the briquettes out of the, or lava rock, whatever you want to call it, out of the grill, and we'll assess the damage to the burners. Now, if I'd have been smart about this, I would have put the gloves on before I even started scraping that stuff away. But the grate is still in good shape, so I won't have to replace that. So I'm also going to need something to put this old burner in. I don't know if you guys can see this old burner. It's completely rusted out. This burner is going to basically attach from the bottom. I'm surprised it doesn't just fall apart, actually. The one side's completely off. Probably. We'll go ahead and disconnect it from the bottom. Okay. So, as you can see, the old one is held in by some screws, which are
have kind of a nut on the bottom. So we're going to undo those nuts. The one on the other side is completely rotted off already. This one just twists right off. I should be able to lift that grill out because the other one's already rotted off. Alright, so the igniter on this one actually attaches to the bottom with a couple of screws, and of course they're rusted, and I'm going to probably need to break those off just to get them off. By the way, guys, if you don't have one of these, now this is a big Larry made by Nebo, but there's several different brands of these, but these are awesome if you want to stick a light somewhere. But just so you know, they don't stick to aluminum, obviously. Aluminum's not magnetic. But you can stick them on the bottom of your grill, just let them hang there. You know, whatever works for you. Find a piece of steel or iron and it won't be a problem. So, let's see if we can get these screws moving. You never know, they might not break, but so they didn't. Maybe we can reuse those. There we go. Take that off. All thing I'm going to do is look to see. And these are pretty much full wide open screens, about a 1/2 inch on either side. So that'll be a good start for us when we go to adjust the burner. Look at that, it's completely rotted out. Nothing left of that. When I flipped it over, all the rust just came flopping down. All right, so let's get that cleaned up. Alright, so I'm going to use a spatula and get as much of this stuff out of here as I can. And look at that, the bottom of that, they're solid as a rock. And you know why they don't make grills like this anymore? Because then they couldn't keep selling you grills. That's the problem. Sunbeam probably made a bunch of these till they sold them to whoever wanted them, and they didn't need to keep selling them because they didn't need to buy another one. One thing I will mention is just because this grill has a decent body to it, the stand itself, yeah, it could use a little bit of aluminum because it's rusting. The stand is.
As far as the new burner goes, I just assembled it according to the instructions that came with it.
Okay, so I am gonna trim this up here so that I can mount it onto the new one, so I can still get the electric start. But obviously this one's not going to fit this generic one. Now that you can buy these burners still, I think when I looked online, I think they were about $70 as opposed to this one, which was $30. So if you wanted to get one that would mount with the original hardware, you could do that. But of course I'm the jerry rigger, so I'm not going to spend an extra bucks I don't have to spend. I think these are probably older than this grill. Still works. All right, what we gotta do though, I think, is raise it up. Looks like that will work. And that is self-drilling screws. sure if you guys can see that. So, once again, I did pre-assemble this. Turn that sideways. I don't know if you guys can see that. This back here, there's a hole. By me turning this sideways, I can actually drill up through there now from the bottom. And that'll hold that in place. And I don't have to worry about that moving. I pre-drilled it, I'll go ahead and just use a regular screwdriver. Now I'm still using the pre-drilled screws. Let's go ahead and put it up in here again. So I get the hole lined up. There we go. All right, for these, you just stretch them out to where you want them. And then you use the spring. Wrap around here to keep it from coming off. Same thing with the other side. All right. That's it, guys. We should be back to going. Let's see if it works. All right, spark's working. Gas. All right, so while I'm at this, I've already got the burner replaced, did that. But now I'm gonna go ahead and replace this hose. And get this hose replaced, and then I need something in here to support these Coleman Gemini Power Pack. So there's not dangling on the hose, pulling the hose. I had been kind of hanging it from this, but that's not really ideal either. But just to keep the pressure off the hose itself. But now, you know, it looked like it was about to fall any minute. So I am gonna go ahead and, like I say, replace this hose. It does look like it's starting to get just some minor cracks. But while I'm at it, I was down here. I said $16.99, I think it was online. May as well go ahead and replace that too. Okay, so first thing I got to do is get the old one off. And I'm going to use a stripper wrench here. I think they call them crescent wrenches because after you use them on the same nut a bunch of times, the nut's crescent shaped. This looks like it. Try and get some of that pressure off there so I don't break that. The new hose is a little bit longer, so that might actually help me do the mounting. There we go. It actually does appear to be quite a bit longer. Mainly on this side. I measured on this side and I think it was only an inch longer, but this side was a lot shorter. I did not realize that, so I'm going to actually be able to bring this down here now. Now before I turn this on, I will go ahead, after I get it all hooked up, and spray it down with some soapy water just to make sure there's no leaks. All right, so what I've noticed in these propane tanks, I don't know if you can see that, they're not actually sitting on this. They're actually just dangling. Oh, see that? See them moving? They're not sitting on that. I thought they were actually coming through the bottom, but they're not. They're actually just sitting. They're dangling from the top. All right, so I think I figured out the solution. What I found a piece of sheet metal, and I'm bending it to an angle like this. So now what's going to happen? I'll be able to slide this down. It'll dangle from that hook. From here, this won't be able to flip over. The problem with these bottles, right? I don't believe that there's a valve inside them. Maybe there is, but so if you flip them over, you're going to have liquid propane coming out the bottom of them. So you need to make sure that they stay upright. You need to make sure that these are upright, right? So if I mount that here, I'll be able to put this on there and easily get it right back off. So that's the plan. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best. All right, so we got the bracket on there. We bent this up. Go ahead and attach it on there. There we go. Now it's not pulling on the hoses. Everything's in good shape. I'll do the water the soapy water test just to verify that there's no leaks, and we should be good to go for this part of it anyway. There we go. All right, so looks like it's working pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and shut her off, put the lava rock back in. Alright guys, well, that should just about do it. Thanks for watching the Jerry Rigger channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and unless you want to stick around and watch me eat some steaks, I guess that'll do it for this show. Thanks again.
You still here? Oh. Well, if you want to stand around and watch me eat a steak, that's fine by me, but I may as well show you how I make it first. All right, so I start off with a ribeye steak, and the better marbled it is, the better. That marbling is just that little, chunks of little fat in between all the different steaks. That makes the steak much more tender. If you get a good marble into the steak. The next thing I do, well, first thing I do when I go to cook it is I turn up the grill. And get it nice and hot. Let it burn off anything that might be, anything that might have been living in there since last time you grilled, And of course, a good brush to clean off the grill. Get off all that old stuff, any rust that might be on there. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about prep, and a little bit about how I like my steak, how my wife likes her steak. I like mine medium rare. She likes hers medium. So what that means for me in my cooking strategy is really actually pretty simple. Once I get the grill hot and burn off, any germs, anything that might have been living in there, I go ahead and clean off the grill one more time, let it sit for, another 2-3 minutes just to make sure, absolutely sure everything's gone. I salt and pepper both steaks. And then I throw hers on first for 6 minutes. Once hers 6 minutes is up, now granted these are room temperature steaks, these aren't frozen or even refrigerated. I've taken them out, I've let them bring them out to room temperature. I'll salt and pepper them. I'll throw hers on first for 6 minutes. Then once that 6 minutes is up, I'll flip hers over and I'll throw mine on. I'll do that for 7 minutes. Again, flip hers over, mine over after the 7 minutes, and I salt and pepper it in between each time. I also like to throw in a hickory block in the grill if I have any. I don't have any today, but that hickory block will just give you a little bit of a hickory smoke flavor. But you know, use whatever you prefer. With these briquettes or lava rock that I'm using now, of course all the drippings are sitting down in there. That's going to make from the last time I grilled, that's going to make a nice smoke flavor to get us that smoky meat flavor we're looking for. But after, like I say, her 6 minutes, throw mine on, both do 7 more, flip them over, do 7 more. That's it. At that point, they're usually ready to take off. I'll kind of look at it from there, but of course it depends on the heat of the grill. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, after the pre-treat or preheat clean set, after I've done all that, I'll go ahead and turn it actually down to the low setting on it. And the low setting is plenty hot enough to cook those grills medium rare, cook them on the outside. The way I like it now, your grill is going to be different. Your grill might be, you know, have different settings it needs. And this is a new burner for me, so you know, is this burner hotter than the old burner? I don't know. So this may be you know, a good challenge for me, or a good learning experience for me as well. Alright, so I got the grill up to temperature. I'm going to go ahead and clean it off one more time. Salt and pepper the steaks. That's it for just a minute before I put the steak on. Right now the meat is completely raw, so I'll go ahead and use these tongs for, you know, putting them on the next steak and flipping them over one more time, but then I'll go clean the tongs just so I'm not transferring bacteria onto the steak. That set my timer for 6 minutes. On some mashed potatoes. All right, this is why I love this grill. It starts getting too hot. You can see it. In this case, I'm just going to move it over, and I didn't prepare, so I'm not. Oh, see, that's going to burn itself right out. Good. Down. Restart the timer. Put the other steak. go, now that I got both of them on the grill and cooking, I don't want to transfer the bacteria from the raw meat to the cooked meat. So I'm going to go back inside, I'm going to clean these off, throw this away, and finish cooking. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and flip these one last time. So nice thing about this grill, these grates, the grate for this grill actually sits right up here. See, that's actually back end of that grate. And it comes out like this. So that smoke comes out here, so it actually has to come up and then go back down, and that just wilts that smoke flavor into that steak right there. Salt and pepper every time you flip it. All right, so there we are. 2 perfectly cooked steaks. Salt and pepper is all that I put on them. In this case, like I say, sometimes I'll use a little hickory wood, but for the most part, these are perfect. And I'll see you on the next show. Don't need any steak sauce, don't need any ketchup, don't need anything. I eat it just like this.
It's ready, Mommy.
Ah, perfect.
Just pop the ring down.
Are you serious? You're still here? Well, suit yourself.